World. First this week, we profile 3 of the fast-rising stars in the world of Euro 3000. Then we'll join McLaren's Kimi Räikkönen and David Coulthard as we delve into the past at the Mercedes Museum. Next, it's down to South Africa for an oval run of the country's premier Sascar series. We'll take a look at the hugely important role of lubricants in a stressed environment of an F1 engine. And finally, historic action from the 17th Alpine Rally from Austria.
Monza 2004, the delighted Dutchman takes his first Superfund Euro 3000 series win and Man of the Race award. Who is Nicky Pastorelli? A name virtually unknown outside Formula Renault until this year. Well, motor racing may be his sport, but football is his passion, a lifelong supporter of his beloved Ajax. Even at the racetracks, the 21-year-old from The Hague cannot keep away from the beautiful game, although he's not known for being over-vocal.
I only say what is necessary. I don't say too many things that I don't have to say.
Like many drivers, he came up through karting, then national racing in Dutch Formula Renault in 2001. European Renault followed in 2002 before making the big step into the European Formula 3000 Championship last year.
I do a lot of training physically, because to drive a Formula 3000 car you have to be in very good shape. Then of course I spent a lot of time in the team to analyze all the data, to try to improve the car for every next race. And then I study a lot to improve myself also on the technical part of the car, to understand all the technical things very well, because I think it's very important.
Currently second in the Euro 3000 series of Draco Racing, Nicky always finds willing partners for a kickabout. Austrian Norbert Seidler. And championship leader Italian Fabrizio Del Monte. For Pastorelli, combining his 2 favourite sports at the legendary home of motor racing are all that someone could ask for. And surely he is heading for the top of motorsport. When Schumacher and Coulthard move on, where will the new breed of Formula 1 drivers come from? Formula 3000 has long been a training ground. John Lacey, Olivier Panis, Juan Montoya were all FIA champions who made it into the big time. The European Formula 3000 series also launched 2 of its champions into Formula 1, Felipe Massa and Gian-Maria Bruni. Well, Fabrizio Del Monte currently leads the 2004 Superfund Championship, and he tells us what the difference is.
Great experience. Formula 1 car is maximum of the concept that a car can give. Is really fast, really horsepower, and so much really electronic have.
Spa Euro 3000 winner Bernard Ognier has already had a Formula 1 test with Minardi.
It was a great feeling, especially the brakes and the accelerating is great. It's fantastic to drive a Formula 1 car. And also the speed in the corners, it's fantastic.
The 3 youngest drivers in the series are Dutchman Nicky Pastorelli, Belgian Maxime Houdenc and Austrian Matthias Lauda. The race world asked Pastorelli what qualities a Grand Prix driver needs.
First of all, you have to be fast. You have to win races to get into Formula One. Then there are a lot of other things that counts a lot, like you need a good personality. But of course, to get into Formula One, you need to know the right people, to have enough sponsors, everything together, and then it's possible to get there.
Well, Schumi always discounts the past, but these young guns have dreamed of racing in Formula One since they were kids. Who are their heroes? Hodenk has no doubt at all on that score. François Sever.
François, for me, it's the best driver because it's a beautiful driver. He have a specialty charisma, and he's very fast. And his dad, it's my favorite.
For Lauda, the choice might seem obvious, but he's torn.
My father was always my dad, you know, he was not like an idol. He raced Formula One, I know, but he's not my idol because he was always my dad. I see him like my dad. And then I was always a Senna fan, to be honest. Yeah.
So from stars of the past to cars of the past next as we visit the Mercedes Motorsport Museum with Coulthard and Raikkonen.
McLaren drivers David Coulthard and Kimi Raikkonen enjoy the past too, and last month visited the Mercedes Benz Museum at Untertürkheim, next to the Stuttgart car plant, to brush up on their heritage. First, they check out the original 1934 W25, which was stripped of its paint to get its weight down to Grand Prix racing's 750 kilos maximum, leading to the enduring Silver Arrow's nickname. Ignoring Raikkonen's fashion sense, photographers line him up with Mercedes Motorsport chief Norbert Haugen TC for the family album shot. Remember the black Sauber, which brought Mercedes back into Formula One in 1994 after a 40-year break? 10 years later, Kimi's McLaren Mercedes almost gave him the 2003 title. The one thing Mercedes has never been short of is engineering, reflected in the functional cockpits of its pre-war single-seaters. How times have changed. Race World talks to Coulthard.
Well, I think it's very impressive to see the exhibition here, to see the history of Mercedes Benz and motorsport. It has a fantastic history, and obviously I've been a part of several years of that in the modern era. But for me, I think the big interest is in the original Silver Arrows and the cars from the 50s, which is beautiful.
Then a change of venue to nearby Affalterbach and the headquarters of Mercedes tuning division AMG, which builds the high-performance road cars, FIA safety vehicles and its DTM cars. The two teammates have a chance to see the AMG workshops, where standard production models are transformed into road rockets.
The interior and everything is exactly the same.
Usually it has 1,200 meters of force.
Die Damen bitte hinten ganz kurz.
So ein Stückchen.
Kimi even signs off an engine for one lucky customer, although the Finn's autograph will be well hidden.
Alright, that's just about it.
AMG Managing Director Domingos Piardide joins them to meet and greet the factory staff. Autograph time. Mercedes has always involved its employees in its race programs to motivate them, as DC tells us.
Yeah, without the people doing all the hard work, then Mercedes would not be in Formula One, and without that, then I wouldn't be part of the racing team. So of course it's important to come and meet everyone who's doing all the hard work and creating the products and making the success for the company.
With another successful factory visit over, Coulthard and Raikkonen can get back to what they do best: Grand Prix racing.
So from Germany next, it's down to South Africa for Sascar Oval Racing. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back. And now we head down to Westbank Raceway in South Africa for the final round of this year's Sascar Series.
Winter Sky, the fast tri-oval at Westbank Raceway, was the venue for the 10th and final round of the 2003-2004 Sascar Series. The battle for the title has been breathtakingly close, and the chance to earn enough points could stay open for a new champion right up to the second and last race. The series had lots of rivalry, intense racing and great performances, especially from the junior drivers. Championship leader Peter Lindenberg was leading his Cape Town teammate Kosi Swanepoel by a mere 51 points. All this indicated that these last two races promised the most exciting racing between the bring the car home in one piece drivers and the nothing to lose competitors.
This is the end of the season in the Sascar racing. It was quite an exciting series and also the first proper one with oval racing.
Oh, well, we've seen dramatic changes to the cars, and the cars and the drivers just improved all the time. I mean, some of the youngsters this morning, we saw in some of the practice sessions where Kurt is extremely quick. He runs with the fast cars with the less horsepower. So yeah, the guys starting to look more confident. You can see they go a little bit off race line, go to the inside, go higher up. So yeah, it's getting much better, I think.
Any new surprises for the next season from the Goodyear side?
Oh, we'll carry on with this. The oval, we like the oval here, and I think we get the mileage. We'll definitely support the oval and also the road circuit races wherever we're going to race in the future.
Especially the last 4 or 5 race meetings with Peter and myself and Rob Beaumont and the Orby guys getting there. It's made for very, very good racing in the sense of 4 cars going for the lead, which we haven't seen for a while. And even at the ovals, we're having good races. It's just the series has really come on well, and there's big plans for the rest of the season for next year, and I'm sure that this thing will grow tremendously well.
I've won the junior championship already. I'm now in 4th overall in the seniors. If I finish ahead of my dad this race, I might get 3rd. The season, the tracks and everything was a new experience for us. It's the first time I've been riding in a big circuit, with the V8s especially. I used to race go-karts, and from go-karts to the V8 is quite a big step. I particularly enjoy the big circuits, but I don't mind the ovals. It's a lot of fun, especially at the 350, because you've got cars that are quicker than you, and it's a bit hard to keep up to them.
You had a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy season. We've had a lot of changes and a lot of things done, and obviously some of them worked, some of them didn't work. But it's been good, it's been interesting.
The end of a long, hard season, but what a way to finish it. You must be really happy with the way everything went.
No, look, so far we've had a good season, not too many hassles. Today was a bit of a tester. We had a few problems, but we seem to have sorted it out, and we're on pole. So it's another point difference between Kosi and I, so the gap's 52. And yeah, now it's really a question of keeping the car together, not getting into any trouble in the race, and making sure I just come home with a bucket full of points. Doesn't matter if I win or come 2nd or 3rd, I just got to make sure I bring home the points.
If you look back at the season and the fact that it's the first time that tri-oval came into play, next season is going to even be more spectacular.
yeah, I think Sascar's got a good future. We definitely need more cars, but there's a lot of interest out there, especially for the tri-oval, and I think next season we'll probably be running 4 or 5 more cars, which will be great. And I think the guys who raced this year have had a good season. As a package, Sascar has been really good. And the circuit's definitely made a big difference for Sascar. Oval racing is great fun and very close. The Sascars are probably one of the classes where the closest racing happens.
50 laps of oval track racing ahead of us. Peter Lindenberg, championship leader, leads the field from pole position around before they skip the starting signal. Versus Swanepoel, his main rival right next to him. Then 3 juniors, Mark Orby, Kurt Bakewell and Jimmy Orby. Followed by Dion Orby, Nick de Jong, then young Ross Lazarus and Patrick Seddon brings up the rear as they come around. This one can be absolutely vital for the championship, and we're off. This is the first of 50 laps. Good start there from Peter Lindenberg in pole position. We're looking ahead from Jimmy Orby's car. He's got Kurt Bakewell ahead of him as well as Mark Orby. So the 3 juniors remaining in their positions just behind the 2 championship contenders. This is Swanepoel. He's got to win this race. He's got to take points away from Lindenberg. Gap is 52 points at this point, of course, because Lindenberg has got an additional point over Swanepoel for that pole position. Here comes Swanepoel on the inside. Has he got the opportunity? No. Lindenberg closes the door. Swanepoel goes a little bit wide. They're still having to warm up their tyres. They're not quite up to temperature yet. Looking back from Lindenberg's car, Swanepoel is looking very, very threatening. This is going to be an intense battle. Jimmy Orby still in 5th position as we look back from Peter Lindenberg's car. The 2 leaders starting to break away from the 2 juniors behind them. So battle at the front for the lead as well as a battle for 3rd position between Mark Orby in the white car and Kurt Bakewell in the red car. The top 4 now breaking away from the rest of the field. Gives you an indication of how intense the battle is. That's Quincy Swanepoel once again having a look on the inside of Peter Lindenberg's car. The 2 dare not take each other out, of course, but Swanepoel has got nothing to lose. He simply has to get ahead of Lindenberg to take some points away and keep that championship alive until the final race of the day. 50 laps, it's going to be a heavy one on the drivers. It takes its toll. They have to be super fit in order to wrestle these heavy cars around this tri-oval, which is a very, very demanding circuit. Jimmy Orby still in 5th position as we go back to Nick de Jong, Ross Lazarus and Patrick Seddon at the back of the field. But at the front, here's Kurt Bakewell on the inside of Mark Orby. This is for 3rd position. Has he got it? Yes, he's got a great move there. Good driving also from both these drivers. And Swanepoel has a look on the inside of Lindenberg's car, and he got it. As they come around to the front straight away, and in fact, Quincy Swanepoel going on the inside there of the white line. I'm not sure that is allowed, but he's holding onto that line, and Swanepoel takes the lead. Lindenberg goes wide. He's on the dirt on the outside, and Kurt Bakewell comes through as well. So Lindenberg goes back to 3rd. Now he's got Mark Orby on his tail. Lindenberg will certainly not be happy with that situation, but this is exactly what Quincy Swanepoel wanted. He needed to get in front, and he also needed to get some more cars between him and Lindenberg. Now Lindenberg under pressure from Mark Orby. These juniors are absolutely fantastic. 23 laps, he's still marking it off as we go towards the halfway mark of this race. This is a fantastic battle at the front of the field. Absolutely nothing between the top 4 drivers, and Lindenberg will be fighting back. Now they're coming up to Patrick Seddon. Here's the back marker going to play a role. Is he going to hold up race leader Quincy Swanepoel? I think that is what Lindenberg and those behind Swanepoel will be hoping for, but Seddon is certainly not going to be the spoiler of his party. He can help it at all. As Swanepoel goes on the inside, puts a lap on Patrick Seddon. Here comes Kurt Bakewell as well, a clean pass there, as does Peter Lindenberg, and Mark Orby also has a look there. Putting a lap behind, Seddon a lap behind. Jimmy Orby, meanwhile, still fighting it out for 5th position with his father, Dion. And here comes Dion Orby, the old man, going past his son. So there's even fighting further down the field as well. That's a nice gap for Quincy Swanepoel. He will be very happy with this situation, but it's still a long way to go. Lindenberg, is he just looking at his mirrors? Is he just protecting his point situation? Quincy Swanepoel goes wide, makes a mistake, and Kurt Bakewell into the lead. Lap 32, and Peter Lindenberg has also gone past. So now Quincy Swanepoel is down to 3rd position, and now he's got Mark Orby all over him. So things are chopping and changing in this race. This has got to be one of the best Sascar races we've seen this season, and Kurt Bakewell in his 350 horsepower junior car is leading the Sascar race back with Jimmy Orby. He's got his father Dion ahead of him, but the fight is at the front of the field. Lindenberg in 2nd position at this point, chasing down Kurt Bakewell, and he's coming on the inside. 36 laps into this race, and Lindenberg goes back into the lead. A great fight back, and here comes Swanepoel as well, forcing his way through on the inside. I suppose this was inevitable because they do have more horsepower. The senior class drivers, they've got 500 horsepower at their disposal, and Lindenberg is now opening up a gap. So it is Lindenberg, Swanepoel, Bakewell, Mark Orby. These juniors are giving the more senior drivers a real wake-up call today. 36 laps into this race, and Peter Lindenberg is putting some points on Quincy Swanepoel as they remain where they are. Meanwhile, further back, Jimmy Orby chasing down his father, Bjorn Orby. They're coming up to Patrick Seddon, rather. Seddon really off the pace today, and he's being lapped once again. Bjorn Orby goes through nice and cleanly. Here comes Jimmy as well. In fact, Jimmy Orby also somewhat off the pace today. We are not accustomed to seeing him this far down the field. Meanwhile, the action continues at the front, and still Lindenberg leads from Swanepoel, Kurt Bakewell and Mark Orby. 10 laps to go in this race, and the points gap in the championship at this stage is 57 points, because if they remain where they are, Quincy Swanepoel will have given away another 5 points to Peter Lindenberg. There is 100 points available for the win, of course, so that means that this championship will remain where they are at the moment, will go right down to the wire, and Swanepoel is fighting hard. Swanepoel is pushing. There are 3 laps to go in this race. Swanepoel is running out of time, running out of road as well. Mark Orby has gone into 3rd position. Mark Orby has got one on Kurt Bakewell, so the juniors are fighting amongst themselves. They're fighting for the final podium position. Once again, the car's coming up to the back markers, and this is the final lap. One more lap to go. Lindenberg and Swanepoel absolutely together. Which one is going to take it? Lindenberg is not going to give this one away. Swanepoel is going to try and push as hard as he possibly can, and Mark Orby is right there with them. The top 3 absolutely together, and Swanepoel makes a mistake in the final corner. The checkered flag awaits, and Lindenberg takes the first victory of the day. He extends his lead in the championship by another 5 points over Quincy Swanepoel. This one is going to be tight.
It all came right, and then you threw it away in the corner there.
Yeah, you know, it was a very hard race. In the beginning, I battled to get past Peter, and then I knew the other guys would catch up to him and cause a dice, which gave me a breather. And then I thought, okay, let's just relax. And then I started having a slight fuel pressure problem. And instead of looking in the road more often, I was looking to see what was going on with the pressure. And I went into the top end too wide. I nearly thought I was going to lose it completely. And then got onto the loose stuff and managed to keep it. And then Kurt and Peter got back at me. And then it took me a while to get back at Kurt. He made a mistake, so I can slip through again. And then Peter kept it to the line, but I think I'm quicker. And we'll just keep it together. But yeah, the second one should be good.
But once they were both past me, I just said to myself, just keep up the pressure and wait for the mistakes. And they both obliged, so got the lead back without having to do anything silly.
But just the fact that they have the speed and they've shown that they can race to be in the lead, that's amazing for junior racing.
No, I think it's fantastic. I think it bodes well for the future of SASCAR. And that race proves what I've been saying all the time. There is no other class of racing that can produce racing this close. It just can't.
Mark, amazing race. Did you think that you could be that close to actually leading the race?
Not at all. Kurt and Peter were very quick, but my car seemed to come right towards the end. I think if it was like 5 laps longer, I would have been very close to the front of the field. But other than that, it was a brilliant race. I'm very happy.
It's about time that you turn the tables on your brother Jimmy. I mean, he was nowhere to be seen.
Well, I don't know for now. Maybe he's just having a bad day, but I'm sure he'll be back.
Kurt, well done. That was an amazing race. Did you ever think that you would lead one of the heats?
Not this season. The way it's been going, I've had a bit of bad luck. But the last 2 races, it's come right, and it was actually it was very good to be in the front for a change. It was nice.
What is it like when you're out there in the front and there's nobody ahead of you and you just have to watch your mirror?
There's no better place to be. It's great. Just a bit nervous watching Peter and the guys behind me. And then I made a little mistake and they got past. So it was a bit of an unlucky one, but still another one to see what happens.
Confirmation of the penultimate race of the season. Lindenberg and Swanepoel, the 2 championship contenders. You can see 5-point difference between the 2 of them, but a great performance from the 2 juniors. Mark Orby and Kurt Bakewell in 3rd and 4th, respectively. Bjorn Orby in 5th and Jimmy in 6th.
Well, there's more SASCAR action coming up, as well as F1 oil and historic rally action from Austria. Join us for that after the break.
As usual, Westbank Raceway had on offer anything that is loud and exciting. And the quarter-mile drag strip saw its share of action with some serious drag racing. If the drag racing wasn't loud enough, you could experience the bone-rattling sound systems that were in competition for the top spot. Also racing on the banked oval were the Oval Rages in their 2-litre machines. With some close racing and lots of overtaking, they made it look as if they were stuck to the track with glue. Final race of the 2003-2004 SAS Car Championship. This will clinch the title. Peter Lindenberg will lead the field in pole position. He also has a 58-point gap over his nearest rival, Kwesi Swanepoel. So he needs to finish this race, and Swanepoel simply needs to hope that something goes wrong for Lindenberg. So the grid starting order is Lindenberg, Swanepoel, Mark Orby in an excellent third, Kurt Bakewell in fourth, Dion Orby, then Jimmy Orby in sixth as they form up for the start of this 50-lapper to bring the season to an end. And lots of tension, lots of adrenaline pumping there as they come under starters' orders. Looking forward from Mark Orby's car in third position, and the signal is on, the race is on, and Lindenberg gets a good start. Here comes Mark Orby on the inside, has a look at Kwesi Swanepoel, second position, it goes wide. Swanepoel goes wide. Swanepoel makes a mistake, or has he got some kind of problem? Clearly he's got some kind of a problem, probably his brakes, but this is an absolute disaster for Kwesi Swanepoel, who falls right back to the end of the field. So Swanepoel's championship chances are over, or are they? We'll have to wait and see how this race develops. Meanwhile, Peter Lindenberg has taken a solid lead over Mark Orby, then Kurt Bakewell, Dion Orby also. This is Patrick Seddon, the number 22 car. But Swanepoel has dropped, as we say, to the back of the field, and he clearly has some kind of a problem as he drops back into the clutches of Ross Lazarus. And all he can hope for at this point really is that something goes wrong for race leader Peter Lindenberg, who is being chased very hard there by the junior Mark Orby, Kurt Bakewell. There's Dion Orby in fourth position, Jimmy Orby in the picture as well. Here are the two back markers, and now Ross Lazarus has gone past Kwesi Swanepoel. One isn't accustomed to calling Kwesi Swanepoel a back marker. Well, Peter Lindenberg needs to know what the situation is. I'm pretty sure that he does. We look back from race leader Peter Lindenberg's car. Here comes Mark Orby on the inside. He has a look at it. Now this can be dangerous. Here comes Kurt Bakewell as well. And Mark Orby has got him. And Bakewell is going to come on the inside of Peter Lindenberg as well. So Lindenberg drops back to third. Does he also have a problem? Can this championship end on an absolute dramatic note? Because Lindenberg has to finish this race. He has to score some points. If he doesn't finish this race, and Kwesi Swanepoel remains where he is at the moment, that means that he will score enough to take the title. This can be a dramatic end to the season. At the front, meanwhile, the two juniors are pulling away. Mark Orby, Kurt Bakewell are pulling away from Peter Lindenberg. What an upturn in the books. I cannot believe this. I think the juniors are certainly on a roll. Mark Orby now coming in amongst the back markers, putting a lap on Ross Lazarus. This will be the opportunity for Lindenberg, who's trying to squeeze by on the inside of Kurt Bakewell. And he doesn't get that chance there now. But things are really developing very interestingly in this race. The race order is still the same, with Mark Orby leading Kurt Bakewell, Peter Lindenberg. Dion Orby is a little bit further back in fourth position. Then comes Jimmy Orby, Nick de Jong is in sixth, then Patrick Seddon, Ross Lazarus and Kwesi Swanepoel right at the back of the field and losing time as the leaders go past him as well. So Lindenberg, he's just got to keep his head together. He will be well aware of the situation with Swanepoel, and he will also know that 60 points are up for grabs if you get classified in ninth and last position. So Lindenberg can still lose this title as he goes into second position past Kurt Bakewell. He's fighting back, but he's running a huge risk here. If Lindenberg doesn't finish this race, he scores no points and he can still lose the title. Mark Orby leading the race on lap 31 out of 50. There's still 19 laps to go, and Lindenberg has lost it. Lindenberg has lost it, and Kurt Bakewell just misses him. If Bakewell crashed into Lindenberg there, that would have been the end of Lindenberg's championship, and he will be furious with himself. Dicing with the youngsters at the front of the field, and he's losing a lot of time. Let's see, there goes Nick de Jong, Jimmy Orby also coming through, and Peter Lindenberg, by our reckoning, has dropped back to 7th position. 7th position, there's Swanepoel, but Swanepoel a few laps down on him as Jimmy Orby puts a lap on Ross Lazarus and coming up to Patrick Seddon now. So absolute drama here at the Westbank Raceway. Jimmy Orby coming through still, well, he's up into 3rd position now, so the race order is Mark Orby, Kurt Bakewell, Dion Orby in 3rd position, and Peter Lindenberg dropping back to 7th place. Now, he's just got to keep his head together. If he makes another mistake like this, he can well be out of the race and out of contention for the championship. This is Swanepoel, of course, that's the caveat. This is Swanepoel has to finish this race as well. There comes Jimmy Orby, and here is Peter Lindenberg coming up to put a lap on Patrick Seddon, the 2 leaders in the background. So Lindenberg almost lost a complete lap there. And the 2 leaders coming up in the background with Mark Orby having opened up a bit of a gap over Kurt Bakewell, because Bakewell had to hit his brakes very hard there as Peter Lindenberg spun. Dion Orby there, number 96, still in 3rd position. Here comes Peter Lindenberg. He's coming up and going past Patrick Seddon for 6th place. So Lindenberg making up another position, but is starting to run out of time. 48 laps gone, 2 still to go, and Mark Orby has got a substantial lead over Kurt Bakewell, and he's holding on for dear life. Kurt Bakewell chasing as hard as he can. He knows he's running out of time, but it's going to be a Mark Orby victory, the first time in the SASCAR history that one of the juniors will win a race. This is what it looks like from our race leader's perspective, as he gets the white flag, which signals there's only 1 more lap to go, and Mark Orby on his way to making history, putting another lap on the struggling Kwesi Swanepoel, who must be exasperated, because I'm sure that he was hoping for a mistake by Peter Lindenberg. So Mark Orby is going to win this race. Kurt Bakewell is going to finish in 2nd position, and he does so. Great performance by the 2 juniors, showing the older, more experienced drivers the way home. And Mark Orby will be absolutely ecstatic behind his steering wheel. There's our champion, however. After all is said and done, Peter Lindenberg is the man who has done it all and has deserved this title without any doubt. The crew coming up, broad smiles on everybody's faces. They worked hard for this one. And as we say, they certainly did deserve taking the 2003-2004 SASCAR Championship. Ross Lazarus also coming there and giving Peter Lindenberg his handshake, family all around. I think I also saw Debbie, the wife. There she is, indeed. There's Debbie giving her husband a bit of a hug and congratulating him. There's confirmation of the final result of the final race. Mark Orby and Kurt Bakewell putting it over the senior drivers. Dion Orby on the podium ahead of a recovering Peter Lindenberg.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. I mean, I lost it there, but there was no pressure really, because Kwesi was, out of it from the first corner, so it didn't really make a difference. I decided to have a go with the youngsters, and they were quick, they were good, they were quick, they drove well, and I just made a mistake. I mean, I was definitely quicker than they were, but not quick enough to get past, so they drove bloody well. It was a great race, and for us, I mean, the championship was fantastic.
Mark, what a way to finish the season.
Yeah, excellent way to finish the season. Hopefully we can carry on next year like this, but I'm very happy with the performance today. I'd like to thank all my mechanics and for all of them for helping me. The car was excellent. I couldn't ask for better, and for a good dance with Peter and Kwesi, it was great.
Once you saw that you were right behind Peter and you started overtaking, did you think that you could stay in the lead all the way?
Not for a second, but when they were all behind me, it was very doubtful that I would stay in front, because I don't think I had that much pace. But when Peter spun, I think I had the race in the bag, because the guys were far behind, so it's quite good.
Second place for you, did you ever think that you'll finish up that high?
Well, I was hoping for first, but the way the season's been going, I didn't expect in the top 3, but I'm very glad it went well.
What was it like up in the front there? The pressure must have been immense.
Yeah, we haven't been on the oval for a while, and you get so my neck was getting tired, and just looking in your mirror, you see Peter or Marky or someone on your bumper the whole time. You can't make one mistake, then you lose your position. But it was very intense, it was good.
And when you saw Peter spun, was that taking off a little bit of pressure?
Yeah, it was, because Peter dived me when I was behind Marky, and then he went for Mark and he overdid it, and then he spun in front of me, so I got stuck behind him and Mark got a big gap. But otherwise, it was a big relief to know that Peter has gone. It was unlucky there.
Wrapping up the season as far as the Oval Championship is concerned, Lindenberg gets it over Kwesi Swanepoel by 59 points. And the Circuit Championship, 24 points between Peter Lindenberg and Kwesi Swanepoel. Dion Orby again in third position. And as far as the overall standings are concerned, Lindenberg takes it by 82 points over Kwesi Swanepoel. Dion Orby again in third.
If you look back at the season, any highlights in particular for you?
I think in terms of road race courses, the last race here at West Bank Raceway, a fantastic race for me. I mean, I just sailed away, pole position, 2 heats. And yeah, I think the second oval race of the year was a hell of a good oval race here. It was excellent, although the first heat today was probably the closest race we've ever had. So, all around a good season.
Now, look ahead at the next season of SASCAR. Any exciting developments?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff on the go, but I don't want to say too much right now. We'll see in the next 6 weeks, but it looks good.
A great end to a great SASCAR season with a roar of the V8 engines that entertain crowds all over South Africa. Well done to all that were involved, and we look forward to an even more exciting season coming up. See you then.
Well, that's it from this year's SASCAR series. After the break, it's oil technology in Formula One and classic hardware in action from the Alps. Welcome back. As now Race World goes behind the scenes in Formula One to look at the lifeblood of every engine on the grid.
Nothing runs without oil. It's the lifeblood of everything mechanical, and Formula One engines and transmissions are no exception. And the better the oil, the better the performance, as Ralf Schumacher tells us.
Und das ist eigentlich eine Entwicklung über die Jahre.
That's something that's developed over the years, he says, adding some extra horsepower. In 1998 and 99, you could get an extra 7 or 8 bhp depending on the oil. And it's the same in road cars, but the bearings will suffer if you use the same thin oil. But we're not doing 100,000 kilometers, so it doesn't really matter.
Dass die Lager und alles drunter leiden. Aber natürlich fahren wir ja keine 100.000 Kilometer, deshalb ist es nicht so schlimm.
A Formula One engine has to hold together for just one weekend for Ralf & Co. With revs close to 18,000, up to 8 million ignitions per minute, and temperatures inside of V10 of up to 300 degrees Celsius, the oil must not let you down. That's why it's so special, as former driver Christian Danner explains.
Der Schmierfilm darf nicht abreißen und es darf auf gar keinen Fall einen hohen Reibwiderstand haben. Das heißt, es muss so am besten so dünnflüssig wie Salatöl sein, aber schmieren muss es eigentlich so gut wie eben das beste, dickflüssigste Getriebeöl, was man sich vorstellen kann. Und die Ölhersteller sind natürlich gefordert, dort in Zusammenarbeit mit den Motor- und Getriebekonstrukteuren da den optimalen Kompromiss herauszuarbeiten.
Hidden behind this stately home in England are the laboratories of BMW Williams partner Castrol. It might look like Dr. Frankenstein's den, but it's a highly secret, high-tech establishment. Research staff here are constantly developing and testing new additives to improve oil performance, lubricant qualities, cleanliness, and resistance to high temperatures. Castrol's Lee Morton, though, remains suitably tight-lipped.
The precise details and ingredients in the Formula One oil is, of course, confidential to Castrol and to BMW. but we can tell you that it's a unique blend specifically designed for the BMW engine and contains high-performance synthetic oils and a mixture of low-friction additives.
No two oils in Formula One are the same. What's perfect for BMW could seize the pistons in a Ferrari V10. 10 litres are pumped around the engine, 7 of them lubricating the crank case and cylinders. Well, high centrifugal forces under cornering, acceleration and braking are one problem. Imagine holding a glass of water on a roller coaster ride. Try some lubrication systems and ensure that the oil is delivered to where it is needed, no matter what forces are involved. Drivers can experience 3G under cornering and braking. The oil is subject to the same forces, only also trying to lubricate an engine and gearbox, screaming at 18,000 RPM. Feedback from the racing programme allows the company to improve road car oils, lessening engine wear whilst improving power and fuel performance. The gap between oil changes is getting ever longer too. Formula One still makes its own demand. The team will get through 1,200 litres of fuel and 80 litres of oil during the race weekend. It's all for the eventual point.
So from brand new technology to hardware for cars now as we head over to Austria for the Kitzbuhler Alpenrally. So as you can see, the sun blazes down on the Austrian Alps, dressed for the occasion in full summer greenery. The occasion being the 17th year in succession, the historic Alpine Rally. Based in the resort zone of Kitzbühel, the rally this year has attracted more vehicles than ever before. 167 in all, a rare vintage metal, every one dating from well back into the last century, and transforming this beautiful little town in the Hahnenkamm Mountains into quite literally a moving automobile museum. While crews have converged from all corners of Europe and scrutineering, we took the chance to meet just a few.
Ja, wir kommen aus Luxemburg und das Auto ist ein Jaguar XK.
The car is a Jaguar XK 140. It's the very first time we brought it here. Of course, we hope to win the rally.
We don't pay too much attention to the finer detail of the timing, so we tend to go as quickly as we can, safely of course within the road conditions, but no, it's more about having fun and with our guests enjoying the wonderful scenery around Kitzbühel. Well, you know, we will of course be doing our best to score points where we can, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is to have fun with the car.
Well, Richard Charlesworth there, the man responsible for getting this glorious 1930 Bentley around the stages in one piece. And as you can see, it's going to be quite a responsibility. So the fantastic sunshine which graced the afternoon of scrutineering, unfortunately, they waited grey skies as next morning all 167 cars lined up to take the start. Grey skies inevitably understandably, given this is Europe, developed very quickly into the kind of rain which demands, at the very least, a roof. No such luxuries then for the crew of this car number 55, a 1924 Bentley, and the oldest car in the rally. Well, fortunately for the crew of this 1938 V12 Lagonda Le Mans, the rain soon disappeared. Being pre-war, the Lagonda would tackle the lesser 145-kilometre course, whereas vehicles dating from post-war would take on the full 300-plus kilometres through the mountains. As competitors arrive back in the centre of Kitzbuhler to see which of the 150 of the survivors will pick up the trophy for each of the 6 different classes. News came through that the overall trophy itself would this year go to Vienna's Peter Denzel, whose Denzel Type 1500 has a very strong family connection. Well, back in the late 1940s, we had a lot of Volkswagen parts in our store, and the idea came to us to develop a sports car. The first car was constructed in 1949, was developed from then on. Between 1949 and 1959, we produced 350 cars of this type in various editions. Well, that's it from the Alps, and that's it from this week's Race World. Join us again next week.